In today's video, we are going to talk about 15 things you must do after installing Kubuntu 22.04. Myself Mohammed Zubair, and this channel is all about showing you how to become a highly paid IT pro really fast. So without any further ado, let's get started. So first of all, we need to open our terminal. So that is why I'll just search for my console. Here it is. It is also called as terminal. I will just open this one and let's start. Number 1, update. Well, whenever we install a new operating system, some updates are there and they must be done to get the best performance. And same goes for our Kubuntu. So we will update our system, and to do so, we need to use one simple command, and the command is sudo apt update, hit enter, give it your password, hit enter again. So as I was doing it for the first time, so it has taken a little bit of time. Now we can upgrade our system as well. So it's all up to you if you want to upgrade it or not. But I would say that update is enough, and when you have enough time, you can upgrade your system. For now, let's move ahead. Number 2, install aptitude and gdebi and synaptic. Well, aptitude is a powerful alternative to apt-get when you want to search for packages from terminal. And gdebi can also be used to install deb files quickly, as it automatically pulls in all dependency for you from the repository. And if we talk about the synaptic package manager, well, it is the ancient package management tool that is still powerful and useful today. So I'll install all of these three with one simple command, and the command is sudo space apt-get space install space aptitude space gdebi space synaptic, and just hit enter. And here it is asking for the confirmation because it will require us to have 227 megabyte of our hard disk space. So I will just press Y and hit enter. And in case if you do not know if you should press Y or not, well, if you see Y in capital word, it means it is recommended to press Y. If you see N in capital word, it means N is recommended to be pressed. In our case, it is Y, so I will just press Y, and no matter if you press capital Y or small y, it will work. I will hit enter now, and now the download process has just begun. It will take a little bit of time surely, so we will wait for it and then we'll move ahead. So here we are done with the download and installation of our all three things. Now I'll open my synaptic package manager and let's see how does it look like and how it works. So I will just search for synaptic. Here it is. I will just click on this one to open it. So this is how it looks like. So from here I can download and search for different packages, and I can include them into my Kubuntu 22.04. I'll not go into the details of this one, and let's move ahead. Number 3, Multimedia Codecs. Well, Multimedia Codecs are essential for some of your audio files and some of your video file formats as well. And there are many other operations in a Linux distribution that requires you to have multimedia codecs. To install our multimedia codecs, we'll use a command into our terminal, and the command for that is sudo apt space install space Ubuntu. And now some of you might be wondering that why we are writing Ubuntu in here as we are using Kubuntu. Well, as we know that the underlying structure is same and both use apt package manager, so it doesn't matter, and that is why we can write Ubuntu in here as well. After that, right here hyphen restricted hyphen extras, and after that just hit enter. So now it has started the process, and here it is asking for the confirmation. Press Y, hit enter, and now it will download and install multimedia codecs for our Kubuntu. Number 4, install a firewall. Well, even though the Linux distributions are considered safer than the Windows operating system, but still we should have a firewall for more security. By default, we do not have the firewall in our Kubuntu, and in case if you do have, we can still install one. So to install a firewall, I'll use a command into my terminal, and the command is sudo space apt space install space -f space ufw, hit enter. After that, we need to enable this one. And to enable this one, the command is sudo ufw space enable, and now just hit enter. Our firewall has been enabled, as it says firewall is active and enabled on system startup. Number 5, install Python. Well, many people use the Linux distribution for programming purposes, and Kubuntu can be considered as a good Linux distribution for your programming. And Python is one of those languages that is very powerful and you can do a lot of stuff with it. To install Python into your Kubuntu, we have to use one simple command, which is sudo apt space install space Python, and just hit enter. If you see this error, you just need to use same command and at the end of it just write 3 and hit enter. And now you can see here it says Python 3 set to manually installed, and here it says 0 upgraded, 0 newly installed. It means I have already installed it into my system. And now if I write here Python 3 space -- version, hit enter, here we have Python 3.10, number 6, install Java. Well, just like Python, Java is another very prominent language. And for many programming environments in your Linux distribution, even for your Python, you need to have Java. And to install it into your Kubuntu, we have just one command that we need to enter, and the command is sudo apt install space default -jdk, hit enter. Here it is asking for the confirmation, so just press Y and hit enter, and now it will download and install Java into our Kubuntu. Let it get complete and then we'll move ahead. Number 7, increase your internet speed. Well, when we open anything into our browser takes some time before actually loading that particular website. So here we have our Mozilla Firefox, and this is how it looks like. So let's search here gmail.com. So before actually loading the gmail.com website, it will take a little bit of time before doing so. One of the reason can be the DNS server you are using, and it can be because of your internet service provider. Because the DNS server your internet service provider is using might be the slower one. We can get rid of this problem. To do so, I will just close my browser and I will click on my network, and from here I'll right click on it and I will go to its configure. From here, go to your IPv4, and in the section that says other DNS server, just write here the DNS server addresses. I will write here 8.8.8.8, comma, I will write another one 8.8.4.4. So basically I have added 2 more DNS server into my network, and now my internet speed will work faster as these DNS servers are of the Google, and obviously they are much faster than any other DNS servers out there. In order to apply this change into your network, just click on OK and then just click on apply, and now we'll move ahead. Number 8, speed up the boot time. Well, when we boot up the system, it takes a little bit of time to boot it up. So if you only have your one Linux distribution or one operating system installed onto your system, we can decrease the grub time for that. And after that, the boot time will decrease and system will boot up more quickly. To do so, we have to change one file, or you can say we have to make a change in one file. And the command for that is sudo space vi, which is a text editor, space /etc/default /grub, and just hit enter. So here we have our file. Here we have grub default 0 and grub timeout as 0. I have already made the change in this file, so in your case you might see this value at 5 or 10. So in order to change this value, just come here and change this value back to 0, and your system will boot up in more quick time. Number 9, install Timeshift. Well, we do not have Timeshift installed by default into our Kubuntu. For those who do not know what Timeshift is, basically it is a recovery tool with the help of which you can create backup of your system by creating different points. So when your system runs into any problem, you can go back to that point that you had created and you will have all those things back. And mostly when we are doing experiment on our system, it is good to have some points for our backup. So now I'll show you that how you can install it. Command for that is sudo space apt space install space, just right here Timeshift, which is really simple. Hit enter, press Y, hit enter once again, and now the download and installation process has just begun for our Timeshift. We are done with it, and now let's search for it into our system. Here it is. I will just open this one. So this is how it looks like. From here you have to select the snapshot type, click on next. It will estimate the system size, and then just follow the instructions that are given on the screen, and then you will have your first backup for your Kubuntu 22.04. As you can see here I have all the information about the hard disk space into my system. I'll just close this one, and now let's move on to the next one. Number 10. Install Htop. Well, the top is a terminal based utility that gives information about the system resources. I'll show it to you. I will just write here top, hit enter. Well, here you can see we have all the information about all the resources that are being used into my system at this moment. Here I have all the resources that are being used, and these are the processes that are using these resources, and we have their IDs here as well. And on the top we have summary of all the information about our resources. But what if we have all this information in more sophisticated and in more arranged way? To do so, I will just get out of this, and now I will install a utility which is called Htop. Command for that is sudo space apt space install space Htop, hit enter. It is a very lightweight utility, and it will get downloaded and installed in a matter of seconds. So we are done with the download and installation of our Htop. Now I'll open it. I will write here Htop, hit enter, and now you see that we have same information, but now it is in more sophisticated way. So how cool is that? Number 11. Install TLP. TLP is a utility that makes sure that your system is optimized in terms of battery utilization, and it also manages your power profiles. To install TLP into your system, command is sudo space apt space install space TLP space TLP -rdw, hit enter. Now it will download and install TLP into our system after you press Y and hit enter. So we are done with the download and installation of our TLP. Now we need to enable it into our system, and the command for that is sudo space systemctl space enable space TLP and hit enter. So it has been enabled into our system, and now to make these changes take place permanently into our system, you should reboot your system. Number 12. System cleanup. Well, for the smoother functioning of your system and to make sure that we have optimized performance, keeping the system clean from the junk files and unwanted cache is very necessary. We can do that with the help of some commands. First of all, I'll show you that how you can clean your partial packages. Command for that is sudo space apt-get space auto clean and just hit enter. It will clean your partial packages from your system. Now we'll remove our unused dependencies. Command for that is sudo space apt-get space auto remove. Earlier we used auto clean, now we are using auto remove. Hit enter now once again. And at the end, to clean up our apt cache, we'll use a command which is sudo space apt-get space clean and just hit enter. We are done with this one as well. Number 13. Install PlayonLinux. Well, PlayonLinux is a graphical front end of Wine which lets you to play different Windows-based video games and Windows software. Even though this utility or this tool is based on Wine, you will find it very easy to use it as it has a graphical user interface, and that makes it very simple to use. And you can install it very easily either from your software center, which is Discover in case of Kubuntu, or by running a command into your terminal. And the command for that is sudo space apt-get space install space PlayonLinux and just hit enter. So here it is asking that it will require 915 megabyte of additional space. Press Y and hit enter. Number 14. Install GIMP. Well, GIMP is a small but compelling image manipulation tool or a software that we can use to edit our pictures and images. And as it's a very powerful, but it is a very lightweight one. So I am sure that you will love this tool and you would want to have this tool into your collection. To install it into your system, I will just open my Discover, which is a software center basically. And in here, I will just write GIMP. I will hit enter. So here we have GNU image manipulation program. Just click on install and the process will begin. Number 15, install Neofetch. Well, Neofetch is a command line utility that helps you to have all the system information in front of you with one simple command. To download and install Neofetch, command is sudo space apt space install space Neofetch and just hit enter. Press Y, hit enter. It will take a little bit of time and then we'll move ahead. So we are done with the download and installation of our Neofetch, and now I will just launch it. So I will just write here Neofetch, hit enter. So this is how it looks like. And here you can see we have all the system information in front of us with one simple command. Here we have host, kernel version, uptime, packages, shell version, resolution, and all the other information. So we are done with all the 15 things that we must do in order to get the best out of our Kubuntu. And that brings us to the end of today's video. I hope now that you will consider applying these things or downloading and installing these things into your Kubuntu to get the best out of it. If that is the case, please leave a like, subscribe, and press the bell icon. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care.